All right, well, it's time for Spotlight on Business on this October 2nd, our first segment of the month. And we've got Bucky Beeman with Realty Growth with us here in studio and joining us as always. Thank you so much, Bucky,
good morning.
for being
nice to
here.
See you again.
Yes, good morning. And so, Bucky, speaking of October, we have a business we're going to talk about that's so appropriate for October coming up here in just a minute. So, but first, you have more on that Pilates business you were telling us about last week.
Yeah, so on West Circle Drive in Rochester, Minnesota, Club Pilates has now opened up. And I had the ability to, one, see the outside of the store. It looks like it's a very busy operation. They have classes almost every single hour right there next to Midwest Bank, close to Dunkin' Donuts. And they completely renovated the space on the main floor of this building on West Circle Drive.
Yeah, and we've got some photos here you got for us, kind of showing the progression of the renovations here. Our video editor Joey did a great job, kind of getting this timeline here, showing all of that. Look at that as that's come together. Really looking like a lot of modern, state-of-the-art equipment they're using there, and you know, just Pilates in general. You know, what a cool thing to be able to get involved in if you're looking for a new, you know, activity. You know, something to stay physical.
Absolutely, yeah. It's for any age and any fitness level, and really nice on the inside, a convenient location, and it was busy when I was there.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people looking forward to getting involved with that. Well, we've got a second business here, an AutoZone opening, actually expanding in the northwest part of Rochester.
Yeah, so they took over a storefront that was Fairway Foods in the Maplewood Shopping Center, and they've completely converted this once grocery store to an AutoZone. One thing that I noticed when I went inside is they also have a commercial section, so if you have like a mechanic shop and you don't want to go into the retail section that the consumer would go to regularly, they have this section just for you. And it's a very large store for an AutoZone. Imagine an entire grocery store converted.
Yes.
So I did end up having to buy a little bit of things, and they have a wide selection of everything you can imagine in an auto.
Right. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you know, we have some consumer confidence reports coming up later in the month talking everything about vehicles and things like that. So that could be where you could get maybe some parts and things you need, you know, in that expanded AutoZone. Finally, we've got Halloween Express, 2 locations in Rochester.
Yeah. So, excuse me, 'tis the season.
Yes.
Halloween Express right next door to AutoZone. They're also there. And they have a kind of a small storefront here with many selections. And then they also have a store at Shops on Main. And you always see them pop up this time of the year. They're in just before Halloween and they go out just after Halloween. I don't know what costume I'm going to get this year. How about you, Jeremy? Have you thought about it?
I was actually, now that you put me on the spot, I was almost thinking something Prince related, since now I'm in Minnesota, like one of those coats, you know, with the, if I can find one. But yeah, it looks like lots of selections in there for both adults and, you know, getting the kids as well. And just don't be like me and wait until the last minute and try to get one for a Halloween party, and then you're, you know, usually out of luck at that point. Well, finally, in the last minute or so, we do have an email address where folks can submit in suggestions for this segment, right?
Yeah, Spotlight on Business at KAAL-TV.com. And then also on our YouTube channel at Realty Growth, we do an extended segment where we meet with business owners, so be sure to go subscribe there to see those.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, anything you're watching for next week's segment?
So next week, I'd like to get out to Byron. There's a new diesel mechanic out there. I'd like to visit his business, and we'll see what else is to come.
All right. And like we said, we really like to see your ideas as well. You can send them to us there at the email address we've got on your screen right now. Bucky, thank you so much for joining us as always. We'll see you next week, and we'll be back right after the break.